I shall cause thy message to reach all the corners of the earth.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to RoundUp, your weekly source for the latest news.
It's great to have you with us. Today's episode is packed with important updates, meaningful discussions and exciting features.
Our global teams have been hard at work to bring you stories from around the world. Here's what's coming up in today's episode.
We start by heading to Germany to hear about the devastating attack in Aschaffenburg. Then we head over to Canada to learn about tea. And finally, we join Atfal UK once again for the final part of their trip to Ghana.
Let's start with this week's top stories. Jazib is here with the latest headlines. Assalamu alaikum, Jazib. How are you doing today?
Welcome, Nasrani Bhai. Alhamdulillah, I'm doing well. Big news from the US and the Middle East. US President Donald Trump just met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to discuss the crisis in Gaza. One major topic, Trump suggested that Palestinians displaced by the war should be permanently resettled in Jordan, Egypt and other Arab countries. He said this would help rebuild Gaza. Netanyahu, the first foreign leader to meet Trump since he returned to the office, said Trump also helped broker a deal to release detainees. On the topic of Hamas, Trump simply said he wants peace, but he's also reconsidering a past plan for a Palestinian state. Meanwhile, Netanyahu called Trump the right leader for Israel and promised to keep pushing for his war goals. Up next, in Cyprus, kids are turning kitchen waste into clean energy. This teaches students to recycle used cooking oil from their homes. Schools collect the oil, which is then filtered and turned into biofuel. The money made goes back to eco-friendly school projects like solar panels, water fountains and gardens. More than 80,000 students take part each year, and the project has won major awards in Europe. With support from scientists and even big companies like Chevron, the initiative is growing fast. Experts say it's a great way to show that waste has value. So next time you see used oil, remember it could help power the future. And finally, Greenland is heading to the polls. The country will hold elections on March 11th as interest in the Arctic territory grows, especially from the US. A big debate in this election whether Greenland should stay linked to Denmark or move towards full independence. Right now, Greenland is a semi-independent, but still follows Denmark's constitution. Any big changes will need a referendum. Candidate Liv Aurora Jensen says Greenlanders want independence but still value their connection to Denmark. She's also open to working with more countries like the US and Canada. With the elections just weeks away, Greenlanders must choose their path wisely. Those were the headlines for this week. Back to you, Nasrani Bhai. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah Jazib for keeping us up to date on what's hitting the news this week. Now we turn to Germany, where a tragic knife attack has devastated the country and the world at large.
Our team in Germany has the latest, where they also speak to the local Murabbi Sahib regarding the attack and Islam's teachings.
Sehr geehrte Zuschauer, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Wer einen Menschen tötet, so ist es, als hätte er die ganze Menschheit getötet. Diese tiefgründigen Worte aus unserem heiligen Koran machen uns bewusst, wie kostbar jedes Leben ist und wie verwerflich es ist, jemandem das Leben zu nehmen. Doch genau dies geschah leider vor einigen Tagen in Aschaffenburg. Ein Mann griff eine Kindergartengruppe an, verletzte dabei mehrere Kinder und Erwachsene schwer und nahm einen unschuldigen 2-jährigen Jungen das Leben. Auch ein mutiger Passant, der helfen wollte, wurde durch den Angriff getötet. Ein erschreckendes Ereignis, das ganz Deutschland erschüttert. Viele Fragen kommen uns jetzt auf. Wer war der Mann? Wieso hat er das getan? Wie konnte das passieren? Auch wir Kinder fühlen uns durch solche Nachrichten verängstigt. Es ist kaum vorstellbar, dass so etwas überhaupt geschehen kann und dass selbst Kinder betroffen sind. Alhamdulillah haben wir einen Glauben, der uns Trost schenkt und uns auch in schwierigen Zeiten leitet. Wir haben einige Fragen an Murabbi Sahib gestellt, die uns helfen werden, diese schwere Thematik aus Sicht des Islams zu verstehen. Assalamu alaikum, lieber Murabbi Sahib.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Uns ist allen klar, dass einander Leid zuzufügen gegen die Menschlichkeit ist. Wieso jedoch passiert dies trotzdem und wie können wir damit umgehen?
Allah Ta'ala hat jeden Menschen die Entscheidungen geben, ob er sich für den guten oder für den schlechten Weg entscheiden möchte. Diejenigen, die sich für den schlechten Weg entscheiden, entfernen sich von der Liebe Allahs. Doch diejenigen, die den guten Weg gehen, bekommen Allah Ta'alas Liebe. Denn sie handeln so, dass Allah Ta'ala ihnen ihre Liebe schenkt. Und ein Weg für diese Liebe zu bekommen ist, dass derjenige, der ein Menschenleben rettet, ist dem gleich, als ob er die ganze Menschheit gerettet hat. Dies müssen wir den Menschen sagen. Wir müssen sagen, dass wir durch diesen Weg Allah Ta'alas Liebe bekommen und Allah Ta'ala uns zeigt, wie wir diese Liebe bekommen. Und diese Liebe tut auch allen anderen Mitmenschen gut.
Jazakallah wa ahsanal Jaza für Ihre ausführliche Erklärung. In solchen Momenten wird uns bewusst, wie wichtig es ist, sich gegenseitig mit Liebe, Respekt und Mitgefühl zu begegnen. Das spiegelt auch unser Motto wider: Liebe für alle, Hass für keinen. Dieses Motto der Ahmadiyya-Moslem-Gemeinde sollte uns jeden Tag daran erinnern, wie wir leben sollten. Unsere Herzen sind bei den Opfern und ihren Familien. Ihr Schmerz ist auch unser Schmerz. Gerade in solch schweren Zeiten müssen wir zusammenstehen, uns gegenseitig Trost spenden und füreinander beten. Lasst uns für die Verletzten beten, dass sie schnell genesen, und für die Angehörigen der Verstorbenen, dass Allah ihnen Kraft schenkt, diesen schweren Verlust zu ertragen. Möge Allah uns vor Schändlichkeiten dieser Welt bewahren und unser Glauben stärken, Gutes zu tun. Amin. Hiermit verabschieden wir uns. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
A truly heartbreaking incident, and our prayers go out to those affected. May those affected find strength and support during this difficult time, and we hope for a swift recovery for those that are injured.
Now we're turning our attention to our guiding light for this week, the Friday sermon. Rahil and Ushman will cover the main points you don't want to miss. Let's join them now.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to this week's Friday sermon discussion. Today we're diving into a significant moment in Islamic history, the Battle of Khaybar.
This wasn't just any battle, it was a turning point full of strategy, bravery, and most importantly, divine help.
Under the leadership of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, 1,600 Muslims set out from Medina to face a massive challenge, conquering Khaybar, a stronghold with several fortresses. But guess what? Before they even got there, another army, Banu Ghatafan, with 4,000 soldiers, planned to stop them.
That sounds like impossible odds. So what happened next?
Here's where Allah's help comes in. The Banu Ghatafan army suddenly turned back after a soldier heard a voice warning them about an attack on their own homes. There was no actual attack, it was just Allah's way of helping the Muslims.
And once the Muslims reached Khaybar, they had to face fortress after fortress. One of the strongest was led by Marhab, the most feared warrior at the time.
And he wasn't just tough, he was confident. He came out of his fortress challenging the Muslims to one-on-one combat. The brave Hazrat Amir anhu stepped up but was martyred.
That must have been devastating for the Muslims.
It was, but they didn't give up. After 10 days of intense battle, the Holy Prophet ﷺ made an incredible prophecy. He said that the next day, he would hand the Islamic flag to someone through whom Allah would grant victory.
Who got that flag?
It was Hazrat Ali anhu. Even though he had an eye infection, the Holy Prophet ﷺ placed his blessed saliva in his eyes and he was instantly cured. Then, with the flag in his hand, Hazrat Ali anhu led the Muslims to victory. By the evening, the fortress had fallen.
That's such an inspiring story. It shows that faith, patience, and prayer leads to success even in the hardest situations.
And speaking of prayers, beloved Hazur Ahidullah Ta'ala bin Nasir Aziz reminded us that today the world is in dire need of prayers. The situation in Palestine is worsening, injustices are rising, and Muslims everywhere are facing hardships.
He emphasized that while political leaders remain silent, our greatest strength is prayer. We should pray for the oppressed in Palestine, Pakistan, and Bangladesh.
That's the biggest takeaway. Trust in Allah, be patient, and never stop praying. Until next time,
Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah Rahil and Ushman for breaking down the key points of the sermon. Be sure to watch the full sermon if you missed it to get the full details.
Up next, we're heading to Toronto for a unique and flavourful experience at the 2025 Toronto Tea Festival. A perfect place to explore everything from traditional teas to exotic blends.
Tea enthusiasts from all over visited this annual festival. Let's join our team on site for the details.
Tea. It's something people drink every day in many cultures. But did you know there's a whole festival just for tea happening right here in Toronto? We're heading to the Toronto Tea Festival, an event to see what other kinds of tea the world has to offer. The Toronto Tea Festival is one of the largest gatherings for tea lovers in Canada, held annually at the Toronto Reference Library. It showcases a diverse selection of teas from around the world. Oh look, we found it. Let's go check out the event. So what's the purpose of the Toronto Tea Festival?
Yeah, it's a good question. So we have a lot of people here in the Toronto area and around Canada who really love tea. And so we want to celebrate tea in all its forms. So of course people enjoy drinking tea, people want to learn about tea, and of course they want to share the experience of tea. So we have different cultures. We have, Sri Lanka, we have Tanzania, we've got all across the world. We of course have many vendors that are coming from China, and we have also even First Nations tea makers that are here to share their love of tea.
So many people, so many different kinds of tea. Let's go check it out.
There is a golden rule in a tea ceremony. Even your enemy each other, you can kill each other.
What's the history behind your guys' tea?
So I'm Japanese. My name is Momo Yoshida. So since I'm a Japanese, I'm selling a Japanese green tea. And this one that you just had it's called a hojicha. Hojiru means roasted process. So hojicha is a roasted green tea.
It's really good. Like how she was saying, it's very smoky flavor. Did you know tea is the second most consumed drink in the world after water? And in many cultures, like South Asian, East Asian, African, it's more than just a drink. It brings people together. Time to taste some tea. Let's see if anything can beat the classic chai. Yeah, it's like a nutty flavor inside of this as well. The famous matcha tea, let's try this. Oh yeah.
I have just a little left.
This is really greeny flavor. I think this might be the best one I tried today, so it's actually really good.
To make more robust.
So what are some of the teas you guys have?
So we have peppermint, we have raspberry lemon verbena, we have a blueberry green tea, and a chocolate chai.
Wait, what? What was the last one you just said?
Chocolate chai.
I've never heard of that before. Can I try some?
Sure. So it's made with choco bits, so it's not as chocolatey as you would think. Has ginger, cardamom, cinnamon, black and white pepper.
Yeah, there's a hint of cocoa chocolatey flavor.
Yeah.
This is really cool.
This is the chocolate chai.
This is so good. Alright, this is the original chai. Let's try this one. Oh yeah, okay, this one's so good. This is by far the best one I've had today.
I just can't believe the spice.
Although this was just day one of this event, it is due to continue for another day, bringing many people from all over Canada. This has been such an amazing experience. We got to see and try so many different kinds of tea and learn a lot about different cultures. But one thing's for sure, chai from home will always have a special place in our hearts. This is Usman Butter from MTA International Canada Studios.
It looks like a fantastic event, and it really brought together tea enthusiasts from around the world, and it was an experience worth checking out.
Yes, and it brought people together from so many different cultures and traditions, bringing them together with a common interest.
Up next, we bring you the final part of our special series following Atfal UK on their unforgettable trip to Ghana.
In this final chapter, we'll see how the Atfal wrapped up their trip, the friendships they built, and the lessons they took home. Let's take a look now.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to the final part of our historic trip to Ghana. After visiting the cemetery in the previous segment, we then moved to visit TIM, the secondary school Esatra, where Hazur Ayatollah Talib bin Nasr Aziz once served as headmaster.
ذكر الجمال صبابة وتألما من لوعة الهجران.
We also visited Hazur's former residence in Esatra, where we met with one of Hazur's old friends who told us all about the time he was with him.
Al-Hajj Abrahman. He came to my father, sought permission that he want to take me as his friend, his junior brother, everything. So more or less, I was his interpreter. Whenever he comes to the mosque, when he is leading Juma especially, I do translate whatever he says to the Jamaat. He has a unique character. Whenever he wants to give out something to people, Idul Adha, Idul Fitr, for instance, and then we give to, even if you are a Muslim or not, Huzu will give you. And by that time, there was no pipe-borne water. So you do go to this priest here. You go there to fetch what? Water for him. So it is the letter I can say about Huzu.
Afterwards, he spent some time at Waniba Beach, which was the time for us to all enjoy the wonderful scenery Ghana has to offer us. After several days of exploration, we then headed back to Accra. The following day, we offered Friday prayers at the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission Mosque. We then went to visit MTA Ghana, Wahab Adam Studios in Accra. It was a wonderful experience and really impressive. We were greeted with a warm welcome and then given a tour of the facilities inside. We were shown around the various departments such as the programming and post-production. We had a look at the sound booths where Hazur's Friday sermon and other addresses are translated live on MTA. We looked at the control room where all the work happens behind the scene, and then we even got to sit in the presenter's chair in the studio. It was a really impressive studio. Then the really cool part was when we got a chance to sit on the green screen set and see how it works in real time. Finally, we were treated with a delicious dinner and we made our way back to the headquarters. The final day in Ghana was marked by a special farewell lunch with Naib Amir Sahib. We were gifted some special shirts and a sash for us to take back with us as a souvenir from Ghana. What an incredible journey it truly was. From Accra to Kumasi, then all the way to Tamale and Salagat to Asatra, where we were able to walk in the footsteps of our beloved Hazur, Ayyadullah Ta'ala bin Nasr Aziz, to see the places where he served, the people he lived with, and the humble residence in which he stayed in with his family. This trip not only brought us closer to understanding the sacrifices Hazur Ayyadullah Ta'ala bin Nasr Aziz made, but also we were able to make lasting memories which we will always cherish. We hope you enjoyed this journey with us and has encouraged you also to visit Ghana and experience the history, culture and the warmth of love and affection we all experience. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.
What an amazing experience. It was truly a meaningful trip for the UK visitors and also the members of Ghana.
Absolutely, Lonnie. It's been a journey filled with exploration, learning and brotherhood. We hope it leaves a lasting impression on everyone, and we hope to see more trips like it soon, inshallah.
With that, we have reached the end of another episode. If you found today's stories insightful and inspiring, join us again next week as we bring you more highlights from around the world.
In the meantime, be sure to follow us on social media for behind-the-scenes content and updates on future episodes. But Until next time,
Assalamu alaikum.
Oh, I shall call, oh, I shall call, I shall call, oh, I shall call, I shall call. Thy message to reach all the corners of the earth. Oh, I shall call, oh, I shall call, I shall call, oh, I shall call, I shall call. Thy message to reach all the corners of the earth. Oh, I shall call, oh, I shall call, I shall call, oh, I shall call, I shall call. Thy message to reach all the corners of the earth.